Why have been misled by the timetable what?
Public programming and international.
We're supposed to be there yesterday.
Yeah.
And the ones that we are doing tomorrow. Okay? So here, you're supposed to be supply chain performance measures.
We stopped the topic 3 on 5 key metrics.
5 key supply chain metrics.
Yeah.
That's where we stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you manage to mention those metrics? When I asked you to? Did you?
Yeah.
No. You did not mention. Okay, let me go there. Alright, so anyway, let's get there. As it is, it's okay, it's fine. Otherwise, then I might have been misled or confused somehow in regards to the timetable. Unfortunately, that's why I brought in kind of a revision of that one. That's 2 more, no big deal. Okay, now on this one, supply chain performance measures. The supply chain performance measures, we start looking at the supply chain metrics. Now, the supply chain metrics, of course, we defined them, and that is still we know them. But now, we have different types of these supply chain metrics, or key supply chain metrics. Probably, there can be a lot more, but last time we saw 5 of them. And of course, we saw things like the basic order indexing, which is kind of a composite one, or it encompasses a number of metrics in it. So that's why it's called a perfect order indexing. POI, perfect order index, yeah, POI, in other words. We also we also looked at what fill rate, isn't it? Supply chain cycle time, inventory turnover. Okay. So these are some of the things that we saw. Okay, fine. Now, as we are proceeding, after I shared this one with you, I also attached a link. Did you follow that link? Maybe you might never have followed it, but my advice is, whenever you have time, follow through that link also. It can take you to more information. Probably, I cannot manage to write everything here. So, at times, if you follow that link, it takes you elsewhere where you can get more information, So, that is it. Now, here today, let us proceed and look at the relationship between supply chain metrics and company strategy or organizational strategy. Either way. Relationship between supply chain metrics and company strategy. Okay. single word, not a single sentence, a single word. When we say a strategy, what is a strategy? The other way that can be used for somebody to understand easily, a layman. For a layman, a strategy, yeah. What another way that we can use to instead of the word strategy? You want to say something, please say it.
Remedy.
Just
Remedy.
this remedy.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Well, what is what you think? If you like simple way, we are playing it. You are not you are going to strategy. Okay. A single way that can at least be similar to that is a plan. You plan for something, you strategize for something. Right? You are staying in a society where you stay, where Macau check. So, there is this other guy who stays at the street corner. So, whenever he's passing by or he's driving around or whatever he does, he always impresses you. I like that guy. How can I be friends with him? You know, he's a he. How can I, you are thinking, now, okay, that is the plan. Each time, I can open a way, I'm going to do something at 0 o'clock. I'm going to go to college, I'm going to go to college. You need to do a match, this is all on it. It's a plan you are planning so that you get his attention. It's kind of a strategy. Then, the strategy, so when I'm doing something, that's how I ask him, where do you work, where do you study? You are planning, is that you are strategizing, right? Why are you planning? Why are you strategizing? You want to get something. Is either you want the person to become a friend, or you want to steal from that person, or you want to get something from that person. Whatever, you have a goal. So for you to get a goal, you plan or you strategize. So in an organization, you write that plan is written down. That strategy is written down. That's why at times it is called a strategic plan. That one is called a strategic plan. So, whatever business you set up, whatever activities you are doing in your organization, you always have a goal. And for you to achieve the goal, you always have a plan or a strategy. Say you started your business with 1 million watt, but in your dreams, you want to expand that 1 million watt to get to maybe 20 million after at the end of a particular period. And this period can be 5 years according to you, or maybe 6 months, or maybe 1 year. By the end of 1 year, this 1 million watt, I want to multiply it to 10 million watt. How do I do it? Okay? I think nzita produce ntuzamiri. Kundi cha produce ntuzamiri ndizembe achivamiri. Kumaso na deploy machine amina ndakhala kwanisa nita produce hii masana. Kumaso I think nsipanga promotion yake ndani nsipanga advertise. Muna sika Facebook, hii kama shika Instagram. Whatever plan you come up with, you write them down. That is part of your business strategy. So I just wanted to move round and round and round to highlight the word strategy. So every business always has a strategy if you are to succeed. Every project has a strategy if you are to succeed. The politicians do the same thing. They always say, we want to win elections in 2025. What do? You plan, you sit down and discuss. What's happening to you? It's like going about what you are working with. I was studying. At the end of the day, we will achieve something. Now, Mamesh is similar only Mamesh they need to be related with your strategy. They need to be married with your strategy. Strategy we want to increase ourselves. We want to expand our business, for example. Business has to be for 10 million. That's what we're saying. For this to happen, definitely, 12 million is your strategy. One, not have one. If you say, if you're looking at 10 million, oh yes, That's a strategy. Now, for us to get there, what do? We increase the sales, we increase maybe the speed, we increase this and that, we reduce this and that, all those ones. So, in each and every area that we're trying to do something, there is what we call a metric in there. Now, to achieve expansion, total expansion of the business, they will have sales, metric, right? So, that one is attached to the strategy. Strategy. Probably speed at which we are delivering things. It can not expand business because either customers people will have me. Then by the speed at which we are delivering, that is logistics and all, metric and so on and so forth. So, one sentence that you take home or you can take home is that make sure that supply chain metrics are aligned with your business strategy. Immediately, I would love people to write. Make sure the supply chain metrics are aligned with your business strategy. Now, in business or in the world of business, there are things like the metrics that we are mentioning here. We have others, they call them analytics, others they say KPIs or key performance indicators. All these ones, key performance indicators, metrics, whatever analytics, they are there to ascertain your position in your operations, to ascertain where you are in as far as your operations are concerned. But what is more important is to select the most important metrics or measures. The measures are there, there are very many, but to select or to choose the most important one is what is very key and critical. So, for you to choose the best metrics to be employed in your operations, you have to make sure that you choose those that are closely related to your strategy. So, those are the critical ones. Now, this is your business dashboard, business every they are the because that's the idea. We want to expand our business. There will be some other things that may be more important, others are not very important. My son, you say, when it comes to our workforce, it's one of the things about I'm aware of Shido, right? You can put that one as a you want to be aware of because I will do it. And I will not put me having production in the so but I will not production will be that so. I think this one should be a message also. You might learn and I'm going to Shido. Okay, good. We are not going to I'm just giving an example. Those can be metrics, but probably of less importance. If you look at their significance in the business operations, you can say, I think these are not very important. Let us not waste our resources and time on this kind of metrics. So, what I'm saying here, if you are to choose the metrics that you want to employ in your organization, you can have as many metrics as possible, as many measures as possible, 10, 20, 50, 100, as much as possible. But you need to be critical and choose the only critical ones or the most important ones. Those are things that are significant enough. Now, how do you know that these metrics are significant? At least they should be closely related to your business strategy. Now, how do we know that this metric or that metric is closely related to our strategy? Whereas this one is not related to our strategy. There are some steps that need to be followed if you are to ascertain what kind of metrics to be used and not to be used. The first step is translate organizational objectives into supply chain metrics. Organizational objectives, translate organizational objectives into supply chain metrics. Alright, here this is what we are being taught. Before beginning to establish those metrics we mentioned, managers must first take the time to ensure that they fully understand the key organizational objectives. Ino managers mwanembranchino kwa kampani ya NRA. First of all, musa time bigger metrics and measurement. First, you have to understand the organizational objectives. Once these are understood, they can be translated into specific facility, processes, functional, or business unit objectives, which can be defined in terms of metrics now. Okay? Goal is to expand your business from 1 million to 10 million in 1 year. That's your goal. Now, the next question that you ask yourself, how do we do this? Here is our goal. I want you in a company, my sons will make up on the guys, you know what? That's the best 1 million. By the end of 1 year, I want us to have 10 million. Then it means this is expand. So you will sit down and you start asking yourself, okay, I want you to bang it in. How are we going to do this? Then you'll be raising hands. Okay, I think we need to expand sales. Oh, expand sales. How? Okay, see, Garibanoko, do 1 million my sales, but you Mabanga 100 sales. So it means we need to multiply this one times 10. So it means if you talk my sales 100. Yeah, I mean myself with 1,000. I see. Oh, okay. How do we do this? Then to me, I didn't know this and to separate my branch in and degree. So, due to more than an area, you to expand myself. Expanding myself is now an objective. Even an objective. Now, somebody says, okay, see, as somebody is going to expand. I think so deliver will be satisfying my customers and my customer okay, how do we do this? I think we needed to raise my tracking and to generate it. Okay. Those are suggestions. And if you have reached a conclusion of that one, you say fast delivery is also another objective. And the objective here is fast delivery. Okay, Chimkina is that. Probably customer service. Customer service, indeed, my customer, I got sure. This is that one, it was my customer. As at the time, most of those are here. Customer service. Now, in the process, customer service has become an objective. So, first you have a goal, then you are deriving the objectives, you are coming up with objectives of what you want to be achieving. Now, by following an objective, a single objective in it, it is easy for you now to derive a metric, a measure that will be used to measure that objective, whether it is being achieved or not. So, my objectives are to now. The goal to is part of that strategy. The number strategy the brand has to data is now going to objectives. And then my objective here, I'm a action plan. Each and every objective also has action plan or action plans. How do we do this? The objective, my sons, the fast delivery. Fast delivery, that's an objective. Then what are the actions that need to be taken in order for that objective to be achieved? Okay, amunatipula matraki, otonjesa madrive, akamunatipa ngatipeza mahotela. Those are the action plans that we are putting in place now, so that that objective will be achieved. Because after that objective is achieved, that's only when the goal will be achieved. Then the strategy is successful. Now, in this action plan, that's where you put the measures and the metrics in. So, the executive, the company executive are the ones now that will always come up with these objectives. Now they always take them to the managers for execution. The managers objective so the managers, they need to understand them fully before they come up with the measures, because if they don't understand them, they cannot come up with the measures. So company objectives are generally set by an executive leadership team and consist of broad set of objectives that are communicated along with quantifiable objectives. So if it is a public company, the objectives are often communicated to shareholders in the company's annual report and may consist of specific quantifiable elements such as revenue growth, return on assets, etc. It is a public company that is owned by the public through your shares. You know this, right? When I say a public company, it's a company that is owned by the general public through shares. So, basically, such a company has executives at the top. Those executives are the ones that will always sit down from time to time discussing the objectives, the strategy, and everything. Not each and every shareholder is involved in decision making unless your shares have reached a certain level. Company because of how many things that generates equals of handima shareholders of 1,000. It is possible. Not all 1,000 shareholders are decision makers who can make decisions. In a power. In a society was for among those once a while on notification. G one from a share when so it means there are few people on top there who from time to time they sit down and come up with these objectives and all. So this one, they shall always need to communicate with the shareholders. What was my objectives, limits, if there are changes, and so on and so forth. So, but these objectives must always be quantifiable so that it will make sense. When I say quantifiable, something that you can explain it to somebody in via certain quantity, or maybe with some figures. What's up with your eyes? You always have problems with your eyes. I see you're struggling there. What happened there? Do you apply some medicines or?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. If you need to be, you can. Do you need my glass?
Yeah.
Or do you have my glass?
I have.
Okay. Yeah, so I think from time to time it's okay. Especially during which seasons do you experience problems? Like this season, right? Yeah, this is common to people. Are you also used to have such problems in the past? Not now. When it is hot, like during this season. So I can feel you. But try to put on the whenever possible. It will help. Because it brings a lot of discomfort, as you can see here. Alright. So you also have problems with your eyes, or you are a pharmacist?
Okay.
Agari yani. Agari na wale bila bishi. Na bishi mpaka kushika. Agari yani kama bishi. A doctor. Kwa kila doctor. Kama nani? Alright. Now, there can be a situation where the company is trying to, since you want to expand your business or your company, definitely there is competition, and the competitors are not in heaven, are in the market where you are playing, or in the field where you are playing. So, in defining how the company will compete and succeed in the global environment or in the business environment, the leadership must clearly communicate the following to their business unit team leaders. The executive in the now for them who are successful in competing with whoever is there in the field, they must clearly communicate with the unit leaders in their organization the following things. What market will the firm compete in and on what basis? What market will the firm compete in and on what basis? Mr. Ben? Yes. Okay. Back. Alright, so they need to communicate with the unit team leaders. What market will the firm compete in? They should always know that, okay, what market are we competing in, or which field are we competing in, and on what basis. The team leaders, or that is the manager of an organization, they need to understand this. What are the long-term and short-term business goals the company seeks to achieve? These are the goals that are being discussed by the executive. Now they need to be communicated to the managers or the juniors down here. What are the budgetary and economic resource constraints, and how will this be allocated to functional groups and business units? If at all we have economic challenges or the budget challenges, budget constraints, what are they? These people, they should not be kept in a bottle without knowing what is happening. At least if it is a clear bottle, you'll be able to see what is outside there. But at least they should not be kept somewhere where they are not aware of what is happening. Only if these people are clear on these issues, the market they are competing in, on what basis, yeah, the terms, the long-term and short-term goals, and so on and so forth, they will be able to execute and perform whatever they are supposed to be performing. Now, next, the leadership within this business unit must understand its key market and economic focusing, and of course, provide a clear vision on how the enterprise will differentiate itself from its competitors. And if they don't know how different are we going to be, the executive must take this responsibility to explain this one to the manager, so that they understand how different they are going to be and how competitive they are going to be as compared to their competitors. So, once this is understood, these objectives must be clearly communicated to the plant leaders now, and expressed in terms of order winners and qualifiers. So, you know the hierarchy, that is always in an organization, we assume this is a production unit where we produce a certain line of products. We have the executives at the executive level, the one that is responsible for coming up with these objectives, as we said. Then we say these ones, they always communicate to their juniors, that is the managers. Now, from the managers, where else does the directives go? They are now taken to the supervisors down there. Those supervisors are the ones that are responsible for executing the tactics on the ground. So, in short, what we are saying here is everybody from top to the bottom must clearly understand their objectives. Only after this is done is when now you can come up with an indicator or a measure that will reflect exactly what the company is trying to achieve. But if these are not well understood, it is difficult for the whoever is responsible to come up with a metric that will make sense. It will not make sense because you come up with a metric that is answering a different question altogether. Now, step number 2 is developing metrics and data sources. Developing metrics and data sources. Alright, now, what happens with this stage? At this stage, or at this step, which is step number 2, they say, the senior management, that is the executives, the ones that we mentioned, must cover each objective with a specific goal that it can measure and act upon. They must always put together an objective and a specific goal of that particular objective, and put up a measure that will be acted upon. That's the second thing. That is part of what can happen in step number 2. So, these specific goals become the initial step for a development of matrix system. Let us look at some examples. Probably this one can be understood easily, maybe. Let's say we may have a goal of reducing the cost, and that is cost reduction goal. It's a goal that we want to go. Now, on this one, what can we do in order for us to reduce the cost and to achieve that one as a goal? We can say we can choose to be a low-cost producer within our industry. We want to be a low-cost producer within our industry. Now, how do we become a low-cost producer, yet we are producing probably high quality, and the standards are not even lower than that of our competitors? Instead, probably they are even better than that of our competitors, but at a low cost. How do we do this? You can come up with strategies and plans. Let's say we are going to employ the latest technologies. Now, since we are employing latest technologies, we are going to trim probably the number of workers. That one will help you to reduce the cost. At the same time, you are producing something of high quality. This can be so reducing the cost can be a goal, and the strategy of doing it is that of employing latest technology. We are together, right? Now, to measure whether this one is successful or is not successful, then you always have a metric in there that is going to measure the output and the performance of the technology that is in use. That's just a single example. There can be another example, for example, an inventory goal. So, with inventory goal, what do? Here, you are trying to reduce the level of inventory required to supply the customers. So, you do not want to have excess stocks in your storage facilities. Why are you doing this? because you are avoiding excess costs or unnecessary costs, for example, storage costs. Now, for us to reduce the inventory, or maybe to balance the inventory levels, this one, first of all, is a goal, understand? This one is a goal, inventory goal. But now, to do this one, you come up with a strategy, where you say, you always make sure that there is proper communication between, among three entities, those responsible for sales, responsible for production, and responsible for probably warehousing and storage or inventory management. There is always a liaison and there is also excellent communication in here. That's the strategy you're going to put across here. The reason is going to achieve, you want to reduce the cost through maintaining optimum stock levels. This can be a goal. You can also have another goal of new product introduction. You want to introduce new products on the market. So, this one, you can say, okay, we want to introduce a new product, but now, the product development time must be reduced or must be minimized as much as possible. Because if we are minimizing this one, definitely we are also minimizing the cost at the same time. You can have a quality objective. Quality objective, it seems our goods are being out-competed by the goods from elsewhere. Why can we increase the quality of our products so that at least we outsmart our competitors? How do we do this one? Is the goal then to come up with the strategies on how best you can increase the quality or you can improve the quality. Now, this level of detail, here you are into small details as we can see. So they say, this level of detail requires translating company-wide management goals into specific supply level or plant level goals. When we are saying plant level goals, the plant level is the lower level, probably the lower level in the hierarchy of the structure of your organization. As we say, TDD, executive, the senior managers, junior managers, supervisors, then the plant operators. The plant operators are those that probably operate the machinery and all. So that's the plant level. Then, level step number 2, immediately is involving translating those objectives into practice, and that involves also the plant level. Once the metrics have been identified, or once the metrics have been identified, then that metric must be defined in terms of the data that will be used to track now the measure. Okay. From there, we have step number 3. Now, on step number 3, we say develop a balanced scorecard. Develop a balanced scorecard. Now, in step number 2, the company leadership or the company itself, because it involved the everybody, was defining the metrics, was coming up with the metrics from the objectives. That's what has happened. So the metrics have been formulated. Metric hii gana anatuliza nkani ya sales ya production nkani ya ABCD. So in step number 3, now we need to have the dashboard that we mentioned earlier, or the scorecard. The dashboard or the scorecard almost is the same. So this scorecard or this dashboard is supposed to be balanced, and all the different metrics on the scorecard must be weighted globally to achieve the overall optimal outcome. At the end of the scorecard, we always have the total score. And the total score is represented by that metric we call what? POI, perfect order index. The perfect order index, in other words, is the average of all the scores in the scorecard. So we are assuming that on our scorecard or on our dashboard we have 5 metrics. Let's say we have 5 metrics in there, or 6 metrics or 7 metrics. Now, in each and every metric, we have to ascertain that how much have we scored in this particular issue. How much have we scored in this particular issue, and so on and so forth. Then you sum them up and you have an average. That average is what we call the POI, rather. This is what we call the POI. Now, the POI is the average from the scorecard, I repeat. Now, for us to have a POI that is real, it means the matrix must always be balanced. When we say the matrix must be balanced, it means, let's say my score that in a particular metric, say out of 10, just out of 10. It means all the metrics you have in there, at least they should be more out of 10, out of 10, out of 10. So that at least when you're trying to balance them, they are making sense. Because if you say, no, this one is out of 10, but this other metric is out of 15, this one is out of 17, it becomes difficult, and it doesn't reflect the real image of the performance of that organization. So at least they need to be well balanced. Now, the most appropriate measures that will cause an organization to do the right things will be those metrics that measure the strategy of the firm, its functional activities, and the processes. So the metrics that measure the company strategy, the functional activities, and the processes, that metric is considered to be the most appropriate one. So, in a balanced scorecard, the balanced scorecard must at all costs include 4 key performance measurement areas. If the scorecard is to be balanced, or if we are to claim that this scorecard is balanced, at least it should include 4 key performance measurement areas. What are those 4 key performance measurements? 1, how do customers see us? You ask yourself, how do customers see us? So, this one is a customer satisfaction perspective. This one is from the perspective of customer satisfaction. In the scorecard, there should also be this measurement. What must we excel at? What must we excel at? Another measure, can we continue to improve and create value? This is innovation perspective. Then, how do we look to shares by a financial perspective? This one is also another measure that's supposed to be included in a scorecard that is considered to be balanced. So, based on the company's objectives, the balanced scorecard will then be connected to a specific set of appropriate performance measurements. The result will be a scorecard by department or people with a specific key performance indicators. So, Omar Zilava, in an organization, you may have departments. Now, those departments, they have different functions. Let's say a single department as it is, they have different functions, and those different functions, they may have their own scores or scorecards. Now, overall, they must always have a scorecard in that particular department. Then they have a scorecard of those scores from different departments. They are being summed up together to come up with a single scorecard for the entire organization. Then at the end of the day, this one is when now you are able to tell whether you are really going towards the right direction or you're not going towards the direction. By looking where? By looking at the scorecard as it is. So that scorecard is an amalgamation, or maybe it's a composition of scores from different departments. And of course, in different departments, there are also scores from different sections in the organization or different activities within the organization. Then, step number 4, establish measurement requirements and orders. Establish measurement requirements and orders. Step number 4. Step number 4, let's stop there. So that when I say next time remind me, somebody will remind me of step number 4. So establish measurement requirements and owners. That was number 4, step number 4. And step number 5 measure current performance and benchmark. Measure current performance and benchmark. Benchmark with best-in-class competitors. That's number 5. So measure current performance and benchmark with best-in-class competitors. So next time when we are meeting, we shall take a look at those 4 or 5, then go again, proceed elsewhere. This is totally true.